Hold on to your ghosts.
Oh yes, the battle lines have been drawn.
Amuse me, Traveler Spawn.
You're on the edge of victory. Annihilate them.
As if my life wasn't hard enough already.
If you think this armor is impressive, you should see me out of it.
Hey Guardians, welcome to the show. You found yourself on a new episode of Fireteam Misadventure with your amazingly fun Guardians from Bullethead's clan on Destiny. It's been an interesting time. So I am your Warlock Slate, joined by my lovely and fun co-hosts. Let's start with Maddie. She just waves. I was like, I'm not talking today.
Ooh, sorry. It's a Monday. We're good.
Right?
It is a Monday. We have the real DP
What's going on, y'all?
and Arctic. I'm still learning to point the right direction. So yeah,
The rotation.
Arctic.
Nope. Oh, the other way. Got it.
Yeah. So welcome to the show, everybody. We talked about a lot of fun things last time, and we did a entirely PvP show, which I thought was so much fun. So you'll get some more of those in the future. Today we have some fun things to talk about. I'm just gonna jump right in. Let's start with Guardian Games. I don't know why they keep doing this now. I see Arctic like, yeah, Guardian Games.
Hunter's rule. Let's go.
Well, obviously, they've been like in first place every day.
Of course. Let's master race.
I think after playing this year, I don't know why they thought they were going to get away with this, because it is a very unbalanced community. People want to play what they want to play. And you're right, most people play hunters. I don't understand. They can't jump to save their life. But, you know, it just seems like a very unbalanced, uneven event. Like, I don't think you can really, there's no way to salvage it.
Titans are close right now.
Well, because they're in last place, they buffed them.
Right. Yeah. There's okay, so let's see. Either nerf the hunters and we just don't participate like last year. Or
you just get the participation trophy.
Right.
Thanks for showing up.
Or just have, well, it's a Titan and Warlock thing going, because the hunters are like, so we're nerfed because we're the master race. Okay, we're just gonna go into the Crucible now and later. But now this year, I like the catch-up mechanic. I do. So
I think I like the fact that they made like a class-only playlist for you to play with. I don't like the fact that there's really nothing to unlock. Everything you have to buy.
true.
And it just seems kind of boring.
I think so. I didn't participate last year, but watching from the sidelines, this is already infinitely better than the bounty farm that was absolutely that event.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more interesting this year, but I can't say that I've really participated in it much. I did like 4 hours the first day of just hard grinding, getting medals and turning those in and whatnot, but there isn't much there.
Well, they're saving all the bounties for when we have to do Transmog. Y'all don't want a lot of bounties? Fine.
It's not hard. It's not very hard to get laurels. I'm almost finished with the Heir Apparent Catalyst, which is actually a pretty fun gun. I've never actually bothered to use it until this year. But I think once I'm done with that, there's nothing else to earn, so I'm not really going to be doing anything. Like, I bought the armor set from last year, which I think is really cool looking. It's probably like one of the people who did. And this year's is like, maybe I'll get it if I just feel like I don't want to miss out, but I'll probably never wear it.
I like bits and pieces from each of the sets this year, and at least they take shaders really well this time, unlike last year's. So there's that. But yeah, another premium based event where everything is stuck behind a paywall.
And I thought they said they were going to stop doing that.
It's going to
It's
fund our
Bungie.
anti-cheat.
Hey, so is Transmog, believe it or
Right?
not.
Yeah.
I might.
We're going to be in a salty mood today.
Yeah, a little
We
bit, a
really
little
are.
bit.
I think the whole community right now is very salty with this, transmog thing.
Which, there's not much to say about grading games. Maddie, what have you done?
Yeah, I think I've gotten about maybe 5 medals. I've done a few things. I just went and started playing one day, and I've got a shit ton of laurels I need to do something with. But otherwise, I mean, I haven't really been. I'll go back in and make sure that I've gotten everything that I need to get. But other than that, I didn't even play last year. By this point, Guardian Games came out. I was like, what? I logged in the first day and went, nah, that's all right. I'll take a break.
Feeling like a crackhead grabbing all these laurels.
I gotta get him.
That's why I like playing with the team. Like it's all warlocks.
There's sometimes though. Where was I at? What was I playing? Was I playing Gambit? Something. I had like double Laurel Day, and it was a bunch of us hunters. I don't know if it was all 4, but I mean there was at least 3 of us, and there was just laurels everywhere. Like it got to the point I picked up everything, and I'm running to the next section. I still got the laurels coming down on the side of the screen, like. Gain this. I'm like
Blue everywhere, right?
Yes, just I can't see the side of my screen. I'm getting triumph after triumph of, oh, you killed this many and you got this many laurels, and I'm like, stop! I can't play the game. There's too much going on.
Well, you would think they would have added something different from last year's flop. I feel like at least some form of SRL, please.
Yeah.
I feel like events should be an escape from the monotonous grind of everything that we do anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I've also had a problem, and that I can never turn in the triumph for killing 50 people in a strike. That's part of the Guardian Games. I get it every strike, and I can never turn it in.
I did mine today.
Maybe they fixed it. I don't know, but it will not let me turn that one in.
Interesting. I got mine in a Grandmaster.
Yeah,
so.
I did it 2 times last night and once this morning in Grandmasters, and I was able to turn them in.
That's just kind of weird. I'm going to check it again tomorrow, but
it's a conspiracy.
Let's get to the real reason we want to be salty tonight. Let's talk about this Transmog system.
I've got it pulled up and ready for this one, boy.
Now, here's the thing that I do not understand at all. Bungie has a materials problem. They make up materials for everything, and they said, "Yeah, we have a problem. Let's streamline it." But here's 2 brand new materials for you for things you already have that we're just not going to give you.
Heard you like currency, so we got you currency for your currency for your currency.
Yeah, for real.
So let's clarify this. This is not really a standard transmogrification system. This is an additional grind for your already tediously grindy game, so that you can basically put stuff that you already own onto other things that you already own at a cap or pay money. So
it's so elaborate that he had to hesitate between each explanation because there's so much you have to do for one little tiny thing.
I like to think that I'm a smart guy, and I struggled through that explanation.
Yeah, exactly.
So in a nutshell, correct me if I'm wrong, you go see Ada 1. She has bounties, which will give you one part of the materials you need, and you go
So-
grind those out,
That's the scent strand.
and then you then trade those in, kind of like when you upgrade armor, for the next batch.
Okay, so wait, actually, I'm reading it. It says defeat enemies to earn scent strand. So that's not your bounty part. Your
and
second
keep in
is
mind, you need to kill. Well, okay, so you need 150 scent strand to turn it in to 8014, a class-specific bounty
to earn a scent
sword.
cord. Yeah. And then,
then
you take
you-
the cord to the loom in the tower and put it into synth weave and use your synth weave to convert an unlocked armor appearance.
So this
It
seems like the same process as eventually getting, I'm forgetting its name, looks like a golf ball. The yellow
Ascendant
golf
Shards?
ball. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the golf ball one at
Yeah.
the very end.
You know,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
call
sure.
it golf balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh, yeah. Because you have to turn in, things in order to get your upgrade modules, and then you have to turn in 10 upgrade modules to get the gold shard. And then you have to
cores,
get
modules
so
to
then your
prisms, to
prisms.
shards.
prisms, yeah, and then you have to turn a bunch of the prisms in to get the final piece, and that's the piece you need in order to masterwork.
Now, I can understand that because that's masterworking armor. That should
Mhm.
be fast. And you only need the golf ball for other yellow ones. That's the final tier. Right?
Right.
Okay. Now they're saying you already have this armor that you've grinded for. We're going to make you pay for it.
Well,
But you can't get it all.
that's if you want to skip the cap and all the grind that you have to do. And
Well, even with that, you're paying for things you already had.
So-
Granted,
so-
the only one I really want to do is score Baron robes. But the fact that you spent all these years getting all this stuff from get rid of it all. It's all just gonna be given to you as ornaments.
also,
But here's the
sunset.
True. Why do they keep making these stupid decisions?
They are out of ideas, my friend.
Yep. So not only is the grind there, but they instated a cap on how many of these synth weaves, or basically ornaments, you can get per season per class. So 10 per season per class. So ultimately you can get 30 pieces if you have one of each class, except for next season, in which you get 20 per character, basically. That's a little absurd when you take into effect that there's over 1,500 individual pieces right now, not including anything that comes out new. So with those caps in place, it would take over 12 and a half years to get the stuff that we have right now, not anything that's added in that time. Or you could shell out $10 for essentially 5 pieces for a grand total of $3,000 is basically how the calculation rounds out.
Yeah, that's if you went really ham on all your everything to be an ornament, which I don't see the point.
I don't see anybody actually doing that. There's ones with we love, what's
It's
the
the
set you love,
principle of the thing, though. There's
I
people
know.
out
Yeah.
there that want to do it. Let them do it without making them put a down payment on a house for it.
We don't
Well,
mind
I've always
playing
been
your game.
pissed that I had to earn the ornament for this piece of armor that I liked in order to make a different piece that has a better roll or better stats look like this piece. That's why half the time my hunter looks like shit. It's because I'm like, oh, here's these great rolls, but I can't put on it what I like as a piece, And I've thought that for, I don't know, since the beginning that I've been playing. Like, well, I have this whole set unlocked. Why do I have to earn the ornament to it, or the armament, or however they put it, in order to even use it? Like,
So
shaders, you got to earn shaders. Fine, I'll take that. But
So how do you
Just-
feel about the ornaments not going, going to work on exotic pieces? I understand why. so they can be like, oh, you're in the Crucible or something like that. Oh, he's got
There-
on
there need-
syntheseps. He's got
Their
that.
their their explanation was that there needs to be some recognition of what people are wearing
Mhm.
in terms of it, at least exotic armor, which
I
I
understood
understand.
that. Yeah, but how would you? I guess I
I'm
didn't
I'm
ask
more
right.
upset for the
I'm
people
kind of
that
used
have.
to it.
Yeah, I'm more upset for the people that bought the 2018 to 19 Solstice gear with all the glows that still can't be used for
It
any of
can't be
this
used,
or any
yeah.
of
I
the
did.
year one stuff. Yeah, right. So how do you feel knowing that you drop money on that stuff and you can't even use it now? You were able to use it for 2 or 3 weeks before it was sunset.
I switch out the way my armor looks so often that I don't really think about it. There are some sets that I love, love, love. And there's some sets that whatever. But it does make me mad that if I paid for money for something, you're gonna make me not be able to use it and grind for it again. That doesn't
Mhm.
make any sense. No sense at all.
This kind of wraps back around to the Destiny content vault argument and why I'm still upset that all of our content got put away, even though we paid for it. But I digress.
Well, they also, when it comes to that, they said there was no reason for it. There is no reason why they should have done that because you're right. We don't have anything to replace it. New players have nothing to replace that with. They have missed those entire locations. But honestly, there's only a handful of armor I'm gonna actually transmog. Like I said, Scorn Bear Robes is the first. That's one of my favorites. I'll do the Raid Armor set because I love that set. But after that, I don't really know.
That's
Yeah.
fair. Well, and adding on to the back of this, so shaders are becoming a permanent part of everything now. So instead of getting stacks and stacks and stacks of shaders, it's a one-time unlock, very similar to Destiny 1 was. However,
Here's the however.
it is
But-
getting a 750% markup in the Eververse store. It is going from 40 bright dust to 300 bright dust for a single shader.
There's no point for that.
It's
There is none.
It's ridiculous. I didn't understand it myself. I
it's the
still
color.
don't. I'm when I seen that myself, I was like, "Why? Wait, what? Why are we paying that much?" I don't get it myself.
Aren't they also upping the cost to apply it?
No, they actually decreased the cost.
Yeah.
So the glimmer is the same, but they removed the legendary shard cost that was tied to it. So you're not spending your shards anymore on it.
I have like
I have to
7,000
smile,
shards.
otherwise I'd just be
I don't
pissed,
even know what
and
to
I'm
do
still
with them.
pissed.
So
create 2 more characters, Maddie. She has 1 hunter ever only. I'm proud of her that it's a hunter.
yeah,
I had originally thought the reason they did this transmog system the way they did with the armor is so that we wouldn't be overwhelmed with options.
Mm-hmm.
But you're overwhelmed with options for shaders. I've got pretty much every single one of them that's ever been released because I'm a shader whore. I go buy them all.
Yeah.
There's a handful I don't have. And I scroll through a lot of shaders looking for stuff.
I do
So
too.
there's no balance there. Why is it okay to have all the shaders but not all your armor?
It seems like it is artificially capped to incentivize spending money.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately what it just feels like. And a point that has been brought up constantly over the weekend, and especially in the Aztecross video that I adore,
Yes.
that he just released it. We get so excited about companies that listen to their player bases. So when something like this happens and they take 2 or 3 steps over the line, and then they get called out for it and they take 2 steps back, there's still a step over the line, and we celebrate them even though they didn't really change anything. All it is a PR stunt at this point. They are creating a problem and selling the solution.
Correct.
That is what they are doing.
I mean, it's. He also mentions a very good point. Like, we already know. We tell Bungie, this isn't going to work. Sunsetting is going to suck. But they do it anyways. And we're like, okay, we hate Bungie. And then they just go in and go, okay, let's give them what they want. And we praise Bungie. But when they're the ones that didn't listen in the first place, created the problem, and then it's, oh, we love Bungie. We got to stop doing that. You know, listen to your community first. I mean, I understand a few things, like to adjust Mountaintop, you didn't have to sunset it. You know, I understand the issues with a lot of the unbalance, and I feel, you know, right now we're in one of our, you know, better balanced, you know, seasons right now. But it's they keep doing the same thing.
I'm just trying to figure out who this is for. Is
Us
this,
or them?
well, I mean, there's always the balance of your veteran players and your new players.
Yeah.
Your new players are getting fucked hard in these systems.
For sure.
They
You're
don't
right,
have
because-
the shaders. They're having to pay that
Right.
huge markup for a single
Mhm.
shader. They're not gonna get everything.
So
But this isn't for veterans either, because you're nickel and diming and double or triple dipping back into that populace too.
But do you really think that the free-to-play player who won't even buy the game is going to spend $12 to get an ornament for an exotic piece? No, they're not. I play with the free-to-play players in our PC thing, and they're like, oh, I play on GeForce. It was, free to play. It was there, so I'm playing it. I'm like, well, you got the season pass? Well, I got it kind of late because I didn't have the money, and I really didn't want to spend the money. I just want to play like a little bit here and there. So you made your game free to play, but then again,
It's not really free to play,
Yeah,
because
it's
if you want to enjoy anything in the game, you still have to buy the seasons. You still have to pay for the expansions. And if you want to even remotely look and feel good, you got to shell out money for microtransactions.
We still have
cosmetics.
players that don't have Beyond Light.
So I do not mind Eververse. I don't mind spending money there because I know it's supposed to help them develop.
Okay.
But I got to the point where I realized it used to be fun discovering these in the game. When you get it, you earn a ship or a sparrow, or you'd find these things in the game. It was a lot of fun, and that's how I found most of my stuff. And then they put everything behind there, and now they put all this other stuff like we talked about last time in these legendary lost sectors, and that's the only way to get it. And that's the stuff you want.
Well, so right here in our chat, you're welcome, Annie. Annie says that they aren't, helping veterans, and what we did have in grinding our stuff out is pride and accomplishment. Like, if they were to say, put my favorite sparrow, which is my taken sparrow, which I went and shot 45 eggs or something like that. I had to do the raid. I had to get Wish in her, and then I had to do Shattered Throne. Like, I have a lot of pride in my sparrow, just because I earned the hell out of it. If they say, oh well, the new player can go buy it for $10. Excuse me.
Yeah,
So that's like
valuing all of your stuff,
just like
not
Luna's
respecting your
Howl,
time or your money.
Right. I think the buying system in the tower was kind of a slap in the face. Now, they did say, look, you're going to need Ascendant shards and this, that, and the other. It was at a high cost, but like, if you look at Luna's Howl and Not Forgotten, they're sunset. So why do you want to spend money on them? But there are people that are going to do it. Yeah.
I have some similar thoughts, DP, about some of the titles lately compared to our old titles. I'm very, very proud of my Cursebreaker title. Like, there is no doubt I'm going to brag about that shit till I stop playing the game, because that one took a year I mean, to be committed to a title that you have to take a year to earn, a lot of it was because my my luck wasn't good. My drop rate was not good. But and now I see some of these newer ones, like now they have the seasonal titles instead of like long-term titles. And the seasonal titles, I'm seeing people wear them like 2-3 weeks after the season started. Now I realize that some are obviously going to be harder. Like you're going to go into trials and get flawless and get that entire title. Yeah, okay, that's something to be proud of. But I mean, people had whatever the raid one was for Beyond Light.
I got it the week it was available.
Yeah, as long as you had like one thing you had left to do, it was a challenge that they hadn't released yet, and then you had it. And I was like, to me, is that really how fast you're going to get a title? To me, if I get a title in which I could pay to have a gold medal sent to my house, I should be able to get it done in 3 weeks. That's ridiculous. I don't know.
Well,
to me, it's just
I think we've gotten off the beaten path here of Transmog for sure.
But
well,
piggybacking on that, I was in a party with a friend of mine, and one of his friends joined in, and he lives in Destiny. He is almost level 1000 on his season pass. I was like, do you do anything else? And he knows every glitch, every cheat. He knows everything. And that's all he was talking about. And I was just like, why are you playing? And we used to play because we were proud of things we found. Be it the title, be it a sparrow, an armor set, an ornament, something, a ghost. And you're right. The transmog system can kind of help with that, but you could just buy it. And the whole thing just...
How, okay,
So,
let's
ahead.
go to thoughts on how you would change the transmog system. Would you just take the cap off?
I would give it to you. You already have all that armor.
Yeah.
Go pick what you want now.
Yep. That's the best way to do it. And I think removing the cap is the very least that they could do. That makes it a little bit more palatable.
Right.
That was a tough one to get out. I'm sorry.
I stuttered. I wouldn't have been able to get it out.
The whole thing is frustrating, and a little bit of a tangent is, having a random thought. So we just got done speaking about everything that we have to pay for as veterans: seasons, expansions, and microtransactions.
Yep.
At what point, and I'm seeing this pop up a lot in the last couple of days, is at what point do you think Bungie goes to a subscription model and gets rid of these expansion prices, the seasonal prices, probably keeps the Eververse because, a little bit of supplementary income helps. But if it's 15 or 20 bucks a month and that helps them, and it requires you to actually pay to play, and you're not having to shell out all this other money for everything else, if that helps something like Transmog not be monetized, is that worth it?
I mean, that's sorry, but the first thing that came to my mind a long time ago, I kind of thought, I wouldn't say a subscription type thing, but yeah, I guess that's the route that I was, my mind was on. That would stop a lot of your cheaters too. So, honestly, I would if I saw improvements to the game that were in the right direction, I wouldn't mind doing it, honestly, because like I play a few other games, but Destiny is my main game.
Because obviously this is still a business, and in order for us to get more of what we want, they have to hire people to do that. And obviously it takes money and resources to hire people and also produce the content. If a slightly higher, monthly reoccurring charge happens for, 900,000 players that are playing regularly, even in this little bit of a dry spell, I mean, you could do the math.
Yeah, for sure.
They would have to actually care for this to work. I feel sometimes that they don't, because we've talked about it before, they take one step forward, two steps back.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's because they don't have the money. I think it's because they're like, this is our game. We're going to do how we want to do it. And they can say they listen to the community, but it just takes so long. I would not be opposed, but if they were charging a subscription fee right now, there's not enough content to warrant it.
Yep.
Yeah,
They would have to
100%.
really,
Yep.
really create new types of content. They'd have to open everything back up. They would need to create more raid layers. Like if you look at subscription models like World of Warcraft or things, those games are huge. There's so much to do. Then you get this, and it's okay. Well, here's a seasonal activity, which is exactly like last year's seasonal activity, and here is this season with a different public event that's just reskinned, but it's the same mechanic. That's my
I mean,
problem.
we've been fighting the same enemy types for 7 years.
Exactly.
And even the
Yeah.
new enemy types that we're getting are just reskinned asset swapped enemies. You know, how long does it take to add something new?
like new Gambit maps, new Crucible maps.
Or at the very least not
or a
taking
new
them
world.
away.
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, add a new world. You just took what 5 planets away?
Yeah, that's why I said they'd have to really change the way they think about the game and
Mhm.
how they add content to it.
Do you think a D3 is? I know they said it's not, but do you think a D3 with could help in the space aspect of things? Like
No,
when I say space, like you won't have to, sunset and take away stuff, but you can bring other things over.
they could
haven't
very
shown
easily keep everything there.
Yeah, they haven't shown any good faith or goodwill to maintain what they have, let alone add new stuff.
Maddie's been awfully quiet.
I was
Oh,
gonna
I'm
say-
just listening. I'm just absorbing. Yeah.
She loves listening.
Well, I mean, the one thing that I was going to say is, if they wanted to, for the whole transmog thing, is, if they wanted it to be a way for the new players to have access to content that has been sunsetted, and there's no other way to get to that armor set or that shader, absolutely. And then if they want to pay for it instead of grind for it, okay. I think that could be the compromise, because then you get the new players who weren't here 2 years ago, don't have everything since the Red War, but they can still look like they've been around. I mean, I don't have a problem with that, but yeah, this whole making me go back and get the same shit.
I agree with Slayton.
Especially my Reverie Dawn. Like, man, I worked damn hard for that, and now
Right.
I got to work hard again.
I agree with what Slayton said earlier. If you're a veteran in the game, especially a paid player already, I bought the digital deluxe, edition of
Every single time.
Beyond Light.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I feel if I've unlocked all this stuff, and you can see that I've been playing Destiny for 6 years, just give it to me. I've already spent money. I've done all this, and like Maddie said, if you're a new player and you weren't there because you're like, oh, I heard Destiny sucks, I'm not going to play it, and now you jump in and you like it, well, now you're going to have to pay to get all the nice, cool stuff. So
It's
Well,
not
my
even
other
nice, cool
problem-
stuff. It's just old stuff.
it's just old-fashioned stuff. It's exactly what Halo said in our chat.
My other
You
problem,
never know. Everybody's got different tastes. Somebody might like
Sure.
that one,
Sure.
hunter cloak from year one.
Look, if you like the Vex season with all the leaves on it, crap, look, there's already something wrong with you. I'm sorry.
No, I don't.
I like my
can't-
armor to look worn, like left in the dirt for 100 years worn.
And Bean likes that
Oh.
one. That's why I brought it up, because he said he liked it the other day.
I can't even
So-
handle having guns from that era, because even the guns
they're
have
ugly
like
weapons.
they're just disgusting. Get them out of here.
My issue with what Maddie said is, yeah, let's let new people just look like they were here forever, but they weren't. But
that's
I
what I'm
think all
saying.
of us
Make
have
them
played
work
since the
for it.
beta day, right? We've all been here since Destiny 1 beta.
Yes.
D1 Alpha for
Where's-
me.
D1 Alpha, baby.
Exactly. Where's our
No, me too.
Where's
Maddie's
the
like, damn it.
love?
I'm because so that's how I'm saying. I came later to the game. I
You
had
got
to catch up. Yes.
But where's the love for the people who have been here since the beta day? Why are you not taking the people who are still here despite all the ups and downs? I'm playing the exact same warlock that I created in the beta, period. Where's the love for us? I always
There
hate
is
the
none.
fact that they focus
None.
so much on new people and all these other things, which congratulations, yes. But you always overlook your
Here.
They can
There
call me
is
die
no
because,
love. Sorry.
yeah, like I'm the casual regular player. Like I love it,
Mhm.
but I don't do trials and I don't like obsess over things. I have fun and I've had fun since the beginning. Show me some love, man, Bungie. Show us all some love, Bungie.
Yeah.
Don't
I-
give us an emblem.
I don't know.
Just
I've not
I'm-
been
I'm
feeling
more
the
fit-
love.
I'm more fatigued with the mismanagement and bad decisions, and the fact that we repeat this cycle, I swear, once
Every
or twice
season.
a year, where it's like, man, Destiny really fucking sucks right now, and then they release something that's like, hey, we can enjoy this game again, and then it really fucking sucks again, and then it happens every year, and it's super frustrating. This season has been one of the better seasons for sure.
Yeah.
I haven't played as much, but going back and doing everything the last couple weeks, it has been a pretty good season, all things considered. But then there's always that one sticking point, you know, releasing the details about Transmog in this instance, or it's just like, what are you doing? It doesn't make any sense.
So do you think, do any of y'all think, because Halo, just made a comment, Bungie shows love by bringing back D1 content. Okay, well, for people like new people or anyone who didn't play D1, they don't care. They don't care. So would you honestly say that Bungie is kind of they're dangling on a hook right now? Like they're on a very thin line to losing their like major core players.
I think we're just a bunch of crack babies that keep coming back for more, no matter what.
Look, the
So-
gameplay of Destiny is phenomenal. The movement, the gunplay, everything about Destiny feels better than most games. And that's what keeps us here. And anyone who's ever played and enjoys like a movement-free game, like I'm free to move and do what I want. That's why I love Gears. It is hooked. But for people who are like, yeah, I tried it for a little bit and there wasn't much content. If you're a content person, then I don't know that this game is for you.
I'm a story person. That is what.
Yeah.
I mean, after a while, well, my first year, of course, just learning it, didn't have a job for a little while, so it was like I was on like 8 hours a day, just like, I want to get every triumph I can. I wanted to be a completionist, and after a while, I was like, oh, whatever. But I'm here for the story. Like, I have to know how the story ends. What is it going to happen next? And right now, I feel like I'm watching one episode of Lost every 6 weeks. And so it's going to take me 5 years to get to the end of the story.
Don't,
you know,
you don't want to do that.
and it ends on a cliffhanger where you're like, what's next? Yeah. So that's why I'm addicted. I have to know.
It's got
It's
good
gonna
storytelling.
Yeah, I mean, I've been following Bungie for as long as I can remember. I mean, my first real video game played was Halo Combat Evolved. I've been, playing on Xbox since I could hold the controller with my dad. And Bungie's #1 design philosophy has always been 30 seconds of fun. If you can nail those 30 seconds of fun, that repetitious loop, you can get anyone hooked on anything. That's why Halo was so popular. It's why Destiny is so popular. However, Bungie has always had a issue of mismanagement. You could see it, even as far back as Halo 1. They're always crunching last minute to get things out the door. And then you come to Destiny, and it's the exact same thing. They scrapped the entirety of the original Destiny and built that game in 6 months and launched it and released it. And, we're seeing the same thing in D2. It's like they're just kind of throwing shit out there, and whatever sticks is what sticks. And even the shit that don't stick, it's, it's in some fucking vault somewhere, and we don't have access to it.
So let's get the opinion. I see Slayton over there got his arms crossed. He is not happy. Do you think Activision was the problem, or do you think Bungie was the problem?
I think it was Bungie because, like Arctic said, we didn't get the Destiny 1 we're supposed to get.
Nope.
And now they're picking up those threads. And someone there has to be thinking about the long term because they put so much more into the lore than they do the actual game.
It's true.
Like, that lore is deep, it's detailed, it does all sorts of stories. And then you get the game and you're like, where's the attention to detail here? Where's the variety?
That was a 5-minute mission.
Yeah. It also drives me crazy that I'll tell you what, the first time we did Deepstone Crypt, I had no idea what was going on because there was no explanation. There was no cutscenes. There was nothing. Someone knew what was going on, but I had no idea. I was just
they only knew what was going on because they read about the Deepstone Crypt in the Grimoire at some point and knew that it was a thing.
Yeah,
and that was it. If you can't let people who don't like, the only reason I know lore is because I buy the books. I don't read it in the game. It's too much time and effort. Or I have discussions with someone about it, I wish it's a Bungie problem, DP. It's a Bungie problem.
Agree.
I was not a Halo fan. I liked Halo 1 and 2.
I wasn't either.
Huge in Halo. I do enjoy it, and I almost didn't give Destiny a shot just because I was like, it's Bungie, it's Halo. But there was something about the beta that I just loved, and it was, this game is maybe better than other games. I'm not gonna lie, it has.
The power fantasy grabbed me on Destiny. That's with because I come from playing. I mean, I'm 36. I've been playing since did the original Doom and Wolfenstein on PC, and I've had every console, Street Fighters, you name it, I've done it. But when you play Gears of War, you get a power fantasy more than you do in Call of Duty. So when I came over to Destiny, I'm like, look, I don't like aliens too much. Like, I tolerate the whole Gears of War aliens thing because they were more people-like for the majority of their characters. But when I came to Destiny, there was something about the using a super and all these cool exotics like Gallahorn and all these things, and I just got snatched quick because of the power fantasy, and now I feel that the power fantasy has really faded.
You bring up Gallahorn.
Mm-hmm.
That's a prime example of the achievement of finding something in the wild. When you found Gallahorn, like I did, everybody knew. Everybody wanted to play with
cried when I got mine in a Crota run.
It took me forever.
I fucking cried.
That's all gone.
The gun that I love the most, they'll never bring back, and if they do, it's gonna be just as bad as bringing Hawkmoon back without its original perks, and that was Icebreaker. My
Oh.
absolute favorite weapon was
I was
Icebreaker.
so good with Icebreaker.
And it's the days of D1 Power Fantasy, I feel, are long gone and will never come back.
I think Cloud Strike is a good alternative to Icebreaker. Like, I'm getting really good with it. But you're right. Man, I used to sit on that cliff on that Super Strike and just snipe people in the field.
It was on
Ooh.
Mars, right? It was just
No, it
a
was
big
in,
desert, and you sat down and you just sniped everything.
No, Mars wasn't in
Oh.
the first one, was it?
Yeah, it was.
It might have been Mars.
Yeah.
There was a huge field, and you had to go down a little thing, and you could just stay on top and just kill everything.
That's what I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
My
No
favorite
Land
thing.
Beyond. Oh, that's a good mention, Annie.
Yeah.
No
So
Land Beyond.
I'm just kind of sitting here in disbelief that we're at this point again. I'm
Of
just
course.
like, popping
When
into
Beyond
the
Light
Discord,
dropped, I was
just like Halo, daily reminder that Destiny 2 sucks again. So
But this is every season. Like, okay, so here's what the D2 community goes through, and I see other communities, going through it too. But I don't feel a lot of communities go through it as bad as we do. Like, they release a new season, fucking hey, let's go. The whole first month and a half is grind out your stuff, get this, it's fucking great. And then the very last half of the season is we fucking hate Destiny.
because you did everything in the first 6 weeks.
Quick.
It's not
And-
well stretched out balanced.
No. And their drip feed system is not working. Every time I look at their roadmaps, I cringe because I'm like, well, there's Iron Banner.
yeah, why is Iron Banner on the roadmap twice? Why is Guardian Games on the roadmap 3 times?
Yep.
Why is Guardian Games even here to begin with? Because we're worried about Savathun and Shivu Arath, and we're dealing with the Cabal, and now we're gonna go farm bounties.
So I've been thinking
Hey,
about.
we all need a distraction, right?
Yeah.
Wow. So
Kill me.
Arctic, Halo is saying that he sent you a spreadsheet, showing how Curse of Osiris had more loot than the last 4 seasons. That's pretty
What?
sad because that was probably the worst. Well, I don't know. I think a season of the Worthy was now the worst, but that's kind of sad.
Yeah, Halo, send that to me real quick again, and
Well,
I'll
now-
read off the information.
I guess original, like original loot, probably yes, but I would say the season of Opulence gave you a more streamlined way to get all the loot, or like just a lot of different
enjoyed-
Right,
variations.
there's
Menagerie and
player
Season of
agency there.
Yeah.
I thought that was just amazing.
Why would you stop doing things like that, like the
Because it was too
Menagerie,
easy.
like the Sundial? So
That's why. At the end of the day, it was too easy to get what you wanted. There was no. They couldn't just be like forcing you to grind out things.
mhm.
And I think that's why it stopped. That's why we kind of got the Umbral Ingrams this season, but you got to grind out how to get certain Umbral Ingrams.
I'm already tired of them. Like, it's
Well, the other fun part is this is the part of the season where we start getting all sorts of leaks.
true.
So let's talk about this SIVA thing.
Okay.
One sec. So going back to the
Arctic is
spreadsheet
triggered.
that Halo sent me. So Curse of Osiris, it had a pretty shitty story, but it came with 2 strikes, 3 Crucible maps. It came with a raid layer, 3 adventures, new Lost Sector, new public events, 69 legendary weapons, 5 exotics, 5 exotic weapons, 12 exotic armor pieces, and 12 armor sets. It had 1 new patrol zone. And it was $20.
I do
The
miss
past
adventures.
the past 4 seasons, from Season of Dawn to Season of the Hunt, the story was less shitty. 0 new strikes, 0 new maps, 1 dungeon, 4 seasonal activities, 42 legendary weapons compared to 69, 12 exotic weapons compared to the 5, so it actually had more exotic weapons, 6 exotic armor pieces compared to the 12, and 15 armor sets compared to the 12. And by the way, no new patrol zones, and it was double the cost, $40.
Okay, so any has mentioned twice Prison of Elders. Anyone who played,
Loved it.
Yeah, I absolutely loved the Prison of Elders.
I love the
Thank you, Halo.
somewhat randomness of it. Like you didn't know what you were getting into, which hallways you'd have to go down.
Right.
I loved it. That's why I like doing that strike
Do
where we
you
go back
think
into
it
Prison
would
of Elders.
be received well? Still being old content, do you think it would be received well? Reputation that Bungie has now built with just giving us old content.
They can't just give us old content. We need new content.
Okay,
We
so
need new types of activities.
If they use the old content and reissued it as a supplementary piece to the new content, kind of like what it seems VOG might be next season, I'm cool with that. Cool, do it.
I
But
kind
we
of
got
feel
epic
that's what the
stuff.
legendary lost sectors are doing too. They kind of revamp old things and give you new armor. So I'm fine with the legendary lost sectors, even though it's still content that we've been playing.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It's an
Anyway,
interesting way to do it. But
Yeah.
we just need brand new ideas.
So let's go
Brand
to
new stuff.
our next point there, Slayton, that you had brought up.
Siva.
Siva.
I love Siva. I loved Iron Lords. I love everything about the Siva story. Do I want to go back there? Do any of us want to go back there?
I wouldn't mind going back to the mountain.
We're like, yeah, let's go sightseeing.
I like the mountain.
We can't even get back to the old tower. How are they
Yeah.
going to take us to the mountain?
Yeah. Well, and to clarify for anyone watching, there's been a bunch of leaks, and all of this is to be taken with a grain of salt.
Yes.
But one of the things that was found in the database that has been removed since
Chains, yes.
then is next season is allegedly going to be called Season of the Splicer. And if you don't know what the Splicers are, they are fallen engineers and scientists that were a big part in incorporating Siva back in D1 Rise of Iron into the Fallen and creating the Siva infused Fallen that we fought back then. So
Once again, old content.
yeah, old content, but I mean Siva's kind of cool, I guess.
It is. It is. It did give us.
And we haven't gotten
I'll
Siva in D2, which I mean
It's because
a
we
little.
sealed it away.
So how do you see Siva working into Beyond Light?
Well, and we don't know if it's Siva necessarily.
Well, if let's just say hypothetically it is Siva, how do you feel they would go about incorporating, because they brought back Tanix again. So do you see Siva being kind of the same way that it's been re-engineered and unlocked out of the vault that
I'm
homegirl
curious. Well, so yes, hypothetically they could do something, but also in the lore they destroyed Siva in the replication chamber, and then after we killed Axis in Wrath of the Machine. So technically Siva shouldn't even be a thing. So Season of the Splicer may not be Siva related. And according to the 4chan leaks that I read, it could very well be that the fallen engineers and scientists are working with House Light and Mithrax, and how that all incorporates into what we're doing next season. We'll see. But if it's Siva, they've been alluding to it because we're getting more and more Siva ornaments.
So now, Halo brings up a pretty good point here in the chat that it doesn't make sense unless they use the splicers, and say Savathun was able to keep a little bit of the Siva by taking with the Taken King, or they tie it into VOG somehow with like a time travel Vex thing.
Y'all are missing the main point of how this could come to be. We have Anna Bray with the remains of Rasputin out there. Rasputin made Siva. He needs a body.
True.
Yeah.
This could completely be a story about what happened to those two, which I'm okay with.
Bean asks, isn't there Siva on the Exodus Black? I'm not sure.
No.
No? Okay.
We've run through that so many times. There's no Siva on Exodus Black.
Okay.
And you would know.
I'm trying to remember.
If you play Destiny 1, you know what it looks like.
Yeah. I don't think that there was ever Siva on Exodus Black, but there were. How many of those colony ships were sent out? There was the one with the Future Awoken, and they got blown up and destroyed and turned into the Awoken. And then there's the one on Nessus with Exodus Black. I'm trying to think of the other colony ships.
The season takes us to one of those ships like the Leviathan, but it's one of the old ships with Siva still in it.
Could we see possibly a new planet?
Yeah, it would be like a new location because I love Leviathan. Man, that was so
What do you
amazing.
think, Maddie?
It'd be great if it was a new place. Now, I've really been sitting back and listening because I didn't play D1, so I really don't have a whole lot of context to know about Siva. I've read, about what happened and with the Iron Lords and Lord Saladin and all that kind of stuff, and how they barely escaped out of there and closed it up, and yet they're all supposed to be destroyed and everything. So to me, this would be new content where it's going to force me to want to go look up the lore from before and tie it to what's going on. And then plus you all came up with different things where it could lead to, and so it's just got my brain going. Okay, what could, because of course I'm still going to have that whole thing of Destiny's going to do a really good story, It's like, what would be the best way of having a story? Is it just simply going back there and somehow it got unlocked and now Lord Saladin's going to go crazy trying to stop Siva again? Or, is it going to be something where it's a different ship, a different location where it was, we didn't know it was created in two different places. And now that the darkness is coming in, things are starting to appear that maybe were hidden before. And now we got to deal with that. Or kind of like that whole idea of Rasputin too, because remember we had this big thing where it's like, where did Anna go? Oh, she loaded a bunch of stuff up into a ship, and part of that was Rasputin. Part of him is still alive, but we don't know what she's done with him.
Yeah,
so,
and to that point, the original Destiny story was supposed to be based around saving Rasputin, who was an Exo at that point. So everything that we've gotten so far has been alluded to or teased at some point. Europa, Dreadnought, everything and every place that we've gone to so far has shown up in one way or another and been retouched on, including the Crow, everything. It's all come back around. This is the one thing that has not come back around yet.
Actually, and Halo again in the chat makes a good point. Bungie still hasn't done anything with the Dreaming City's curse that we were supposed to cleanse with the 15th wish that we haven't gotten yet. When are we going to come back around to one of the most major drops in Destiny, which was Forsaken? Everyone wanted the 15th wish. We were supposed to get it and break the curse when 20,000 people was watching one guy go into the Shattered Throne at 999 light, and all they said was, "Oh, well, the lore wasn't right. Sorry."
I remember that.
He technically got trolled by Savathun.
Yeah.
She did make the post, and she was like, "Haha, you fell for it. Try again," kind of thing. It wouldn't surprise me in the Witch Queen, because the final wish was we wished for Riven's death. That was what we did. So she died, and because that wish was granted, she died, but also she was, somehow that power got back to Savathun. It's super convoluted and super confusing, but I would not be surprised if there was, we always get the surprise drop after a raid finish. So, we finish the raid in the Witch Queen potentially, and that unlocks the 15th wish. Okay. And we go back to the Dreaming City, and something else happens there. I wouldn't be surprised if
we finish it off.
Yeah. Who knows? I hope we're not.
So did we? So let's get back to Siva. Did for this next season. Was there Siva on Venus? Because if
No,
we're getting
Siva was
Vog back,
contained
that's where
to the
Venus.
mountain peak.
Fog was on Venus, right?
Vogue was
Yeah.
on Venus.
Right. That was the big portal. So we kind of, if we're getting Vog back, does that mean we're going to get Venus back? Because how is Vog going to be there if we don't even have Venus?
They confirmed that Venus as a patrol area is not coming back. The only bit of it that we're getting back is the opening to Vault of Glass, which was in a patrol area.
Right.
Just bring the planet back.
Yeah.
See, that would be smart, but we're also talking about Bungie. So,
because I love the little library area all all around
Ishtar Vault
Ishtar
and Sync.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would love to see, because we still don't know the origin of the Vex. That would be a hell of a storyline.
Yeah, all we know is that they came out because of the Hive.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the Hive.
Yeah, because
we have no
Frodo
clue.
opened the wormhole in the Ascendant realm of Oryx and let the Vex through, and that was kind of like, we don't know where they came from, but they started attacking on force, and they learned the sword logic and all that good stuff. So,
But I mean, could be good next season for a month and a half, and then the next half would be shit.
I
think we'll be right back here in 2.5, 3 months.
Because we're not going to get anything new. A
Look,
rehash of bad guys.
I enjoyed the weapons. If you're like Maddie and you didn't play Siva, I feel the concept of the Siva weapons with all the nanites was one of the actually cooler features that I loved, because you could stack 3 Outbreak Primes, not Outbreak Perfecteds, and just do massive damage. And that was the power fantasy that we used to have, and then they nerfed it all. Now we don't have that anymore.
well, if they did something like a weapon or armor set that shifted and changed, having a shotgun turn into a sniper or something. I mean, they're nanites. Technically, the power of thought of whoever is in charge of those Siva nanites that is creating.
Hold on, someone just said something about the lore. In the lore, it's when Clovis opens the portal, he went to a bedworld with an artificial sun. So there's conflicting lore.
Well, that wouldn't be a first.
Well, why can't all of that be happening at the same time?
Right. I mean, we are
reaching
messing
out to
with
the Vex.
multiple timelines, and we are messing with
Osiris,
time travel. Yeah,
Oh,
I mean, the
I feel-
entirety of Curse of Osiris, he's fighting the multiple timelines. So
I feel the Drifter, who is the original Guardian and the oldest, he knows more, just like he did about the Taken. He knows more, and Osiris knows a lot more than what they're letting the story tell them. If they really wanted to push stories hard, there's so many ways that they could go, and the different timelines that we've already went through with Saint 14 and Osiris. I mean, all this could all tie into one of how we're going to get things back,
or
break
everything.
Yeah, or yeah. So, like in the end, Guardians could have been the problem the entire time, because we stuck our noses where it didn't belong.
Wouldn't it be really interesting? And this is my weird sci-fi coming into my brain here, but wouldn't if we're building up that the future is what caused our past?
So
like
Bean
we
says,
were fucking around too much, and we ended up screwing everything up to begin with.
So
yeah,
Bean
we're going to
says,
go in these fights with the Vex. We're going to try to take on the darkness, and we're trying to protect the light. And by doing all this, we create the time shift, time warp,
everything.
whatever, that restarts all of it at the very beginning.
If I ever mentioned how much time travel and timelines
confusing.
are fucking stupid, I hate this.
It's an easy way out.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Steve.
I know, but maybe I watched too much Star Trek Voyager lately.
yeah.
They do a lot of that time shifting.
I just watched the whole 7 seasons of the 100, and it just got real weird real quick with time travel. So Bean says there's lore cards that talk about the caches of Siva on the Exodus Black to colonize Kepler 186, but its location is still unknown. And Clovis being Siva's creator, he wouldn't doubt that the Fallen got info on Siva from the DSC.
There's a location we should go to.
Exodus Black could hold those caches of Siva, and if you can resurrect Tanix for an 1800th time, you can definitely find Siva in the Clovis Bray, who was the creator, where it's stored and hidden. That's a very good point, Bean.
Yeah, for sure.
So this next season could actually work out almost just like that. I could see that being more fallible than any of it.
Yeah, they're right. Fallen have been crawling around fail-safe for a good while.
Yeah.
I just feel that
crawling
that's an easy way out. They don't have to add anything to the game. And that just makes me sad.
See, there's more on Europa because that I feel that we still haven't seen, and that's I think the next season is going to open up maybe another section of Europa. Because of Clovis Bray and now this whole possible a Siva thing, because where they said they couldn't find the DSC, well oh look, there's a hatch that we can't open. Let's bust it open. Look, there's a deep stone crypt. So there's got to be more on Europa than what they're showing us. So Siva could be where he stored Europa, buried in some ice, like the light was.
I mean, we are talking about entire planets.
Sure.
We're only on very small sections of these planets. It could be anything.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how this pans out, because we're almost to the new season, right?
We got 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So they should really be releasing a lot of stuff about it in the coming weeks.
Or none at all.
Or none at all.
They might have been like, Transmog, that didn't go well. Maybe we'll just stop talking.
They're like, yeah, we're going to just pull back here because we really don't want her to know that,
Yeah, like the husband who knows he's in trouble. I just keep my mouth shut.
And then we get the most screwed up season ever. That would just not be fun.
It's really hard to top season of the Worthless, or I mean Worthy.
I didn't play that season.
I didn't either. Like, I played for the first week and said, wait, these towers is what we got? Okay, I'm done.
This is all we have? Huh?
That's why I missed out on a lot of the Warmind stuff. But I enjoyed a lot of fishing time. I did enjoy that season.
Well, that's it for this show. We hope you guys have enjoyed watching it. We'll be back in another 2 weeks with another new episode as we get much closer. I think that'll put us right almost outside of the new season, so we'll have no doubt lots to talk about.
Yeah.
Arctic, possible Crucible Academy next week?
We'll see what the TWAB has to offer, because right now there isn't really a whole lot that we could really talk about. We have a couple talking points for sure, but I don't know if we can fill an entire show at this point. So
I just
we'll
gotta
talk
say,
about it. We'll let you all know.
Fusion rifles. Telling you.
All right.
All right.
With that, it is definitely time to wrap it up. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe wherever you're watching this at. I hope you guys have had fun. Loved all your comments. Watching them all kind of pop up is fun because I'm seeing them across every place we're at. It'll be a whole lot of fun going forward. And as I say, we're here for the long run. Let's face it, we can bitch and complain. But until they
we
really
will.
just,
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. For sure.
I think until they really just burn us, we're still going to play because I have fun.
You could
fun
be a
is
part
just-
of the Anthem community right now.
I started out right,
Too soon.
but I stopped. Couldn't do it. Anyways,
Yeah.
we have a new show in 2 weeks. We're going to be recording the pilot of the Lore podcast. So if you want to talk about lore, drop me a line on Discord. We're looking for someone else who wants to come join us because oddly enough, everyone loved it, but nobody wants to talk about it. So there's two of us. It'll be interesting. But we are going to go ahead and get that one started. And then my Destiny show finished complete. So
A lot of people are about to go watch, the Lore Daddy on YouTube. Life.
yeah.
He's like, wait a minute, I gotta really, pone up on my daggum, stuff. My name is Bife. Where you at, bro?
It is Fistatron is in the lore chat. Jump right on it. He has a whole schedule how he wants to talk about things. We will be starting with the Cabal because that's what's happening right now.
Well, you got another volunteer there. You have any?
Yeah,
I've actually been going back and reading the lore books in the game, because that was something I didn't do before. I don't have the books. That's the only thing I don't have. So that is why sometimes I will go on to whatever Destinypedia or Wikipedia or whatever, and look up some things just because I don't have some of the extra. But yeah, some of those.
I like the books.
Those books. Yeah, those are kind of nice.
Yeah.
I wish I'd read them sooner, but yeah, if you really, really want a good voice to listen to Destiny for 4 hours, yeah, I would probably go find My Name's Bife.
Yeah.
That man's got he's definitely got a great voice. Just, it's like Morgan Freeman and Vincent Price all wrapped up in together to tell you this amazing story that's gonna happen.
Not David Attenborough.
It's great stuff to fall asleep to.
Oh yeah. Throw in the English David Attenborough at the same time. Yeah, where you're just like, you're so engrossed, but
yeah, I think
you're
we're
a little
turning her on
scared.
now.
Yeah.
I think we need to end the stream quick.
Well, all right. We'll
Oh,
see you
got
in
it.
2 weeks, all.
Got it.
I will be making a handful of ghost ornaments for Christmas, so check the Discord on have those ready. I have Arctics and DPs already ready to go. DP was wanting a Grinch themed one, so that's what you're
wondering what
getting.
they
Maddie.
Hell yeah. Look, yeah.
And that's what they look
Maddie
like.
got the first one because she's special.
Except your twos aren't going to be gingerbread themed, so
That's
there's
okay.
going to be no theme.
I'm
But
cool.
yeah, my resin printer is cranking them out. I'm only going to do a limited number of them. So check Discord come July, August, when I'll see who wants to buy.
$5 a piece. Contacts like.
Ooh. Or we could make clan challenges,
If that's what you want to do, I can print them and make them all effing day.
We got a while to come up with details.
Yeah, so however you guys want to handle it, I'll make 10 to 20 of them. Just let me know.
Cool. Sounds good.
But you two are getting yours for Christmas, so
Woo! Thank you, sir.
yeah. It's good to be creative. I have a whole craft room. Harley's entire house is a craft room. They've got like 8 sewing machines, 3 Cricut machines, 3D printers
God
everywhere.
in heaven, son.
Yeah, so we're good.
Sounds like an expensive hobby.
Well, they're professional cosplayers, so that's their living.
Oh, there you go then. Yeah.
Their overflow stuff into my house. I have one of their 3D printers over here. It's driving me crazy. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I like the resin.
I mean, it can't be any more expensive than all the money we drop on Destiny. So
Yeah,
You
true.
can. So I'll have some of those up. We'll have play some contests. I'll let the industry decide on those. I just like making things, and I made it for Maddie because she was the first one who really worked in the group. And then you two, I had plans to stop making them. It got close to Christmas, and you're like, "Where's ours?" They're coming.
You said you were going to make them for us, and I just have to keep reminding you. That's all it is.
You wanted a Grinch one, so
Of course, I love the
figured out
Grinch.
how to make a Grinch one. So
I'm the Grinch
I
of
hope
the
you
clan. Let's go.
Yeah, it's true. He has no fucks to give.
Zero. Zero.
So we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Don't forget to pay attention to our first podcast of lore coming soon, and another Crucible Academy show whenever these two are ready. Which I have to say, I learned a lot from listening to you two. Like y'all did a lot of bitching, but you guys do your shit. So,
We try.
Yes.
all right. So say bye, everybody.
Later,
Good
y'all.
night. Bye.